discuss two-way radios and the correct usage of them. So two-way radios became very popular in the 1970s, and they've been used since then in the security industry. Originally they were analog. Some of the newer devices now are GSM. So the difference between analog and GSM is a quality difference. Where before they just sent radio waves, now they're sending binary code like your mobile phone, as in ones and zeros to a computer. It gets analysed by the computer and it gets turned back into sound again. So the quality is fantastic. Even recently I was using a radio that was able to block out background noise. So that's the evolution of radios. We've got to this GSM now where some of them are of a far higher quality than the ones we're used to that were analog. Okay, so the new GSM are really good. There's a few phrases within the industry. So for example, a desktop radio tends to be what's used in a control room. The major difference between a desktop and a fixed unit is a desktop is plugged into the wall, where a fixed unit is usually mounted in a car, where you guard a car, and it works off a 12-volt battery. So it's hooked to the battery in the car. And the one we all know, the handheld unit, which is carried by security guards, is the one we're familiar with. Motorola's, GP300, Kenwoods, that sort of thing. A lot of the time, with an illustration here of a radio, before we get into the usage of it, just becoming familiar with it. So you have the radio unit itself here. On the side, we often refer to this the PTT. The PTT button, the push to talk button. You have two dials here on most of the new radios. One is for your channels. The other one is the volume. Okay? Be very careful. Having a full volume isn't always the best way, because depending on the quality of your earpiece, apart from possibly deafening yourself, it can also diminish the quality of the signal being sent up. So sometimes more volume doesn't make it more easier to hear what the individual is saying. It doesn't make it easier to hear because you've increased the volume. So be aware of that when you're using the headset. So if you have it hooked up to a squawk box, okay, you can have an earpiece coming out of this. This thing here, that's the speaker. Okay? Not to be mixed up with this little hole here, which is the microphone. I see a lot of people in the industry, they have a radio, they pick it up, they hold it too close to their mouth, they press the push to talk button and they speak into the speaker. Now that's going to diminish the quality of the transmission you want to send. If your mouth is pressed against the speaker and you're talking, so I can't stress enough, hold this thing back from your mouth if you're speaking. If you're talking into this mic here, which will be clipped onto your shirt, again, give yourself a little bit of space. Okay? So holding this even back a foot from your face will make the signal be far clearer and people will be able to hear what you're saying. The transmission will be picked up by more people and it'll be easier to understand what you're trying to transmit if you're speaking to the mic and not lips pressed against the speaker. That's the antenna, volume key and channels. So make sure at the start of the shift you switch to the correct channel. If you don't know, switch to the channel you believe to be the right one and just proceed with a radio check. Often staff just press the button, say radio check. You'll often get a response saying that's a radio, and that means that you're on the right channel. Or you'll be told by the bar staff, sorry, you're on the wrong channel, switch over to the doorman channel, which is 3. This light here indicates that the unit is on and it's powered. Sometimes when you turn it on, you'll hear a beep. One beep indicates that it's on, you'll be followed by a light here initially. A double beep after that can be an indicator that the battery is close to dead. Some of the units have that in it as a protection mechanism. At the start of the shift, if you hear this, that could indicate that the battery needs to be charged. Okay, so checking that you have the correct charge to continue the shift, that you're on the correct channel, do a radio test and a radio strength test to see if you can hear the people clearly, to see if these items are working correctly. Obviously you wouldn't be using these two at the same time. That's just two alternatives you'll be wearing. When actually using a radio, okay, here's a few things to take in. Listen to the air and for transmissions before you press the push to talk button, because someone else might be talking, and some of the older units you can interrupt a transmission if you press the button, so you don't want to do that. So have a listen, make sure there is no chatter before you go and press the button. Name who you're speaking with. So when I press the button, I'd say Shay to control come in over, Shay to Sean come in over. So what I'm doing there is, I'm saying, identifying myself, I'm saying who I'm wishing to speak with, and then I'm saying over after the transmission so they know I've finished saying it. And the next part, wait to be acknowledged before proceeding. So don't just say Shay to Sean, there's 2 lads at the front door doing X, Y and Z, because Sean might not be on the radio. Sean might have the radio in his pocket and you then spend the guts of a minute and a half transmitting something Keep the message short, concise, and to the point. So before you push that button, I can't recommend enough. Think about what you're going to say. So ask yourself, okay, what's the message I want to convey? Okay, I want to say X, Y, Z to Sean. Think about it beforehand. How can I say that in the shortest, concise fashion? Okay, that's it, and then press the button. Okay, time doesn't always allow that. In a crisis situation, you might not have as much time, but as much as possible, get used to. There's usually a limited amount of commands that you give on a nightly basis on the radio. So you might say Sean to the front door. You might say that individual's been refused. You might say, can I get someone to the dance? So you'll find out there's possibly maybe 10, 15 terms that's used the whole time. Very seldom you give something new. So if you're familiar with them, think, oh yeah, that's what I want to say. You're usually calling someone to a specific spot, sending someone to a specific spot, or informing someone of a refusal or an arrest, or it'll vary from site to site, but you'll get familiar with the ones I use more commonly, which means it'll be unusual for something new to be broadcasted over the radio. Message priority, and I put an X after this one because it's important to prioritise your messages. Now in different areas, countries and companies, they have different ways. Some say at the start of it, they actually say high priority message. What I found in the Irish door scene, one of the best approaches would be, if I'm specifically talking to Sean, so if I say Sean to the front door, no panic. Now that's only my own way of doing it, and I've found that's used very commonly in Dublin and the surrounding areas. Calling someone to the front door, no panic, that means, look, take your time, it's not a panic, I need you out here. Maybe I'm on a lunch break, maybe I want your advice on something, maybe I want you to, get tables free for staff. It's not a major priority. But if I say Sean to the front door, there's a certain level of urgency involved there. Now, if I say security to the front door, and I haven't specified Sean, that means I'm requiring more than one individual to respond. So you can rest assured that's a problem. That's usually an altercation taking place at the front door, so it's serious enough. Otherwise I would have said, no panic, I would be more specific about what I wanted. Can I have force security to the front door, which is not a great idea to say, which I've heard a lot of people say, that you're better off saying have Sean, Paddy and John to the front door, because if you say force security, everyone assumes they're one of the four and they'll all leave their post and they'll all come to the front door. So you may have said security to the front door. So be specific in what you want. And finish each transmission as I just done with the word over. So say to Sean, over. When he responds and acknowledges that you're communicating with him, then say, can I get Sean to the front door? No panic. Sean to the front door, no panic. There's no harm in repeating the transmission twice. Any shopping centre you go into, you'll hear, can I get Sheila to the reception please? That's Sheila to the reception. The reason they repeat that transmission twice is simple. There's usually approximately a 2-second delay. Sometimes even less than that, when you press the push to talk button and the transmission gets received and broken down and projected by the other unit. So in that two seconds, they've missed the first part of your transmission. So sometimes if you say Sean to the front door, all they hear is to the front door. So by repeating it, what they'll actually hear is to the front door, that's Sean to the front door, over. So by doing that, you ensure that the message you want to convey gets there. You sound extremely professional and confident when you do that, and then you have less people. So some guy that's been standing at the front door hasn't had any calls all night. He might have been speaking to anyone and could be switched off at this stage, and he hears a transmission, doesn't catch it the first time, it gives him time, turns people on. It also, you might have someone that doesn't have these, they don't have these pieces attached, which is not great. But I've been in situations where someone didn't have their earpiece with them on the night, they're walking around the radio in their hand, less likely to hear you. But if the radio starts to bleep and this green light goes off here, they know there's a transmission coming in, and then they then put it to their ear, they might hear the second one. So Sean to the front door, he hears something in his hand, puts it to his ear, and he hears that Sean to the front door, over. More chance you're getting the point across. So, in a nutshell, listen for a transmission before you press the talk button. Name who you're speaking with, Shay to Sean. Wait to be acknowledged before proceeding, so wait till control or that individual gets back onto you. Keep it short, concise, to the point. You don't want, they usually, what's called the 6-second rule. They normally try to keep the transmissions under 6 seconds. It's easier for people to remember, to relay, to understand, and it doesn't block up the airways for someone else that might need it. And it allows the other person to have time to come back and question you if there was some problem with what you just said. Message priority. Again, every site will have a different way of putting priority on a message. You could have priority 1, 2, whatever. I personally recommend, especially in a nightclub environment, Sean to the front door, no panic. If I don't say no panic, you can rest assured I want you there fairly promptly. And finish each transmission with the word over. Then the person knows you've finished your communication and they can then respond to you.